the fix to this issue is legislative, and why these groups are so important to drive the law through the legislature to then cascade down upon the judiciary that says, and, it gives them, an out or a hook to hang their hat on too. They can just say, hey, look, here's what the legislature's decided. They're the elected representatives. They've decided this. If you have a problem with the law, take it up with them, type of thing. But we're now starting from a point deemed by the legislature to be where we ought to start off.
Yeah. And then we see a lot, and I'll admit I'm very new to this movement. It feels like in the past 18 months to 2 years that the snowball's gotten bigger. It's rolling downhill. It's becoming something that's more mainstream and more acceptable, and there's more conversation about it.
There is. And I think you're also seeing a change in the demographic. I mean, I represent both moms and dads, and I don't see it so much as a gender issue as I see it as sort of like almost a mental health issue, which courts just aren't equipped to deal with. But we're seeing a change in demographic. I mean, tomorrow I'll be celebrating, the 10th anniversary of my 38th birthday, or the 20th anniversary of my 28th birthday, one of the two. But, we're sort of the last generation that, has this ridiculous one night and every other weekend. A lot of my younger mom and dad clients, they're actually coming to me saying, we want to do 50-50. We just want to make sure, or I have this little concern, like, okay, well, here's how we deal with that. But yeah, it's nice to see the demographic switch, because I think these parents that are now in their, say, mid-20s or so, they may have grown up not seeing one parent, not seeing mom, not seeing dad. And they know it's ridiculous. They know that seeing one parent 15% of the time was not in their best interest. So they're now coming saying, I want to do 50-50.
Yeah, we had this exact same conversation last week. I had California attorney David Pizarro on. We were talking about when a 20 or 30 something year old comes into my office, they almost exclusively say, I want 50-50 custody. I want something equitable. And when we have situations where I'll have the older clients, they're more like, I think I have clients from 19 to 87.
Right.
And the older they are, the more likely they're just to say, like, hey, every other weekend's cool. Where I represent several, I would say, in the demographic 18 to 24. Mm-hmm. And it's almost exclusively like, I want it to be 50-50. That's what it needs to be.
Yeah. And I think, that gives some hope and some optimism to this. I think regardless of the legislative issues or change that, that's coming just because the demographic is changing. But that's the other key part of this is then the drive for, the good quality legislation we've drafted and helped other states with is to make this consistent. So it doesn't matter what courtroom you're in or who your lawyer is. Here's what the law says. Yeah. And let's kind of, let's do what the law says we should do.